How's it going, everyone? It's Javi here, back with, and wait, today's December 2nd, 2017. I'm trying to get the intro of this video right, and today I'm doing another weather video. So last time I did one of these winter outlooks or whatever was back in before Thanksgiving, just a little bit before Thanksgiving, and to be honest, the weather hasn't changed much since then. We still have well above average temperatures. Oh, and by the way, it's about 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so these aren't really the high temperatures yet. So the temperatures are a little lower, but according to a European model today, you could see that most of the lower 48 is basically well above average for this time of the year. And that is mostly due to the fact that we just been seeing a whole lot of high pressures just dominating the United States, which is forcing the jet stream to go more east to west instead of north to south, which usually brings that cold air in. We mostly been seeing a west to east movement of the jet stream, which been keeping that cold air mostly around northern Canada and closer towards the North Pole. So here are the temperatures right now. As you can see, it's well above average for most of the region. And if we look at the radar right now, you could see that it's mostly also been quiet when it comes to like precipitation. We do have some showers and snow showers in the higher elevations of the northwest of the United States, and but this storm system that's right now in the northwest is gonna basically end this so-called heat wave in the United States, which we've been getting for basically over a week now, because as this low pressure system moves more towards the west, we're gonna see more. It's gonna bring a lot of cold air behind it, and then it's just gonna bomb out basically around the Great Lakes to southern Canada region. So this storm system is gonna probably bring lower temperatures throughout the region, and it's gonna bring a huge cold blast of air coming down from the south. I want to see how much time I have left. Um, okay, so I still got plenty of time. So you could see that according to the geopotential normalized anomaly, which basically means of how warm and cold it is. I won't go too in depth with the map. You could see that the cold air definitely builds and basically drops down to the south by around midweek during the work week. So it should bring that cold air in. For fans of the winter, this should be good news for you. But if you're not a big fan of the cold, then unfortunately this heat wave is soon to end after this low pressure system moves more towards the west. And then let me check out um let me check out the GFS, because other than that like low pressure system, there could be a potential snowmaker in the northeast during the weekend next week. And what I mean by that is that we could see a potential like snowmaker that could be either big or small. It really depends like on timing, because timing is plays a huge role in forecasting these weather events. So here's the wait, I'm trying to find the right map. So here's a precipitation forecast. You can see that system from the northwest brings a lot of cold air and a lot of snow in the northwest, probably I would say a foot in the higher elevations. So if you're a fan of skiing or snowboarding, this should be a perfect time. And then it just brings a huge draw of cold air with a cold high pressure behind it. And then as it meets up with the warm air that's already like in the more towards the Midwest, Southeast, East Coast, then it's going to create that instability, which should enhance those thunderstorms and rain showers ahead of that cold front. And we could maybe even see some a potentially big snowstorm for the Dakotas and northern Minnesota, where I would expect probably about 8 to 12 inches in the region shown right here, maybe up to a foot or more towards northern Minnesota. But then we move forward, we see that the cold temperatures basically sink down to the United States. And then what becomes interesting is that as we go into next weekend, we see that there's this basically subtropical low pressure that goes up the east coast, and coincidentally at the same time we have a clipper system that forms and drops down to the northeast. So timing plays a huge role in this, because if this clipper system meets up with this subtropical low pressure system, then we could potentially see a big snowstorm. But based as it is right now, I would probably expect about 3 to 5 inches for most of Pennsylvania, and for the metropolitan regions of the I-95 corridor, like Boston, New York, it's gonna be tough because it seems like it could be a route an I-95 kind of storm where it's got the rain and snow line could be a factor when measuring the snow for those cities. But still, it is way too far to predict if this is gonna be big. But it's just gonna be something to watch, because we see this clipper system really start to develop as it moves towards subtropical um, low pressure. Let me see. All right, 3 minutes left. So, but the more reliable model, the European model, is taking those systems more separate apart. Like you see that this Clipper system is more towards the Midwest, while this subtropical ridge, I mean trough, is more towards the east coast of the United States, and it should stay far apart where a major snowstorm won't really form in that area, but you never know, it could change. So that is at least something to watch for the weekend, that because we could potentially see a snowstorm in the Northeast that could bring some heavy snow, but then again, it could just be a regular average everyday clipper that just could probably bring an inch of snow if you're unlucky, or if you like the snow if you're lucky. So it's definitely something to watch going into next weekend, and you could see that. And I guess that about wraps up this winter outlook. So basically, the basic things to get from this video is that temperatures are going to get a lot colder for most of the United States middle of next week, and to keep, and for the Northeast and probably the Great Lakes as well, to keep an eye on this potential snowmaker that could happen into the weekend, which is about 7 days from now. So keep an eye on that. And also the Northwest, the upper Midwest, like the Dakotas and Minnesota, there could be a potentially big snowstorm for you guys early during the work week, where I wouldn't be surprised if northern Minnesota ends up with about a foot of snow, and the Dakotas end up about a foot of snow as well. And in the higher elevations of the Northwest, we could see also up to a foot. And that's basically it I have to say for this video. So I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to prepare for the cold that's next week. And I hope you guys all have a great day.